Who was the man who dared to challenge centuries of tradition while simultaneously preserving the essence of Islamic thought and Tatar identity? Şihabetdin Märcani, a towering figure of the 19th century, stands as a testament to intellectual courage and profound scholarship. His life and work offer invaluable insights into the complex interplay of faith, culture, and modernity. Şihabetdin Märcani, 1818 to 1889, emerged during a pivotal era in the Russian Empire, a time of significant intellectual and social ferment. He was a polymath, a distinguished theologian, a meticulous historian, an innovative educator, and a respected jurist. Märcani's contributions laid the groundwork for the Jadidism movement, advocating for a revitalized approach to Islamic education and societal progress. His legacy resonates deeply within Tatar history and Islamic scholarship, marking him as a true pioneer. He sought to bridge the gap between traditional Islamic learning and the demands of a rapidly changing world. Märcani's vision was not one of abandonment, but of thoughtful adaptation and intellectual renewal. Born in the village of Yashchi, near Kazan in the Kazan Governorate, Märcani inherited a rich scholarly lineage. His family had a long-standing tradition of Islamic learning, providing him with an early immersion in classical texts. This foundational upbringing instilled in him a deep respect for knowledge and intellectual inquiry. His initial education took place in traditional madrasas, where he mastered Arabic, Persian, and the core Islamic sciences. Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, Märcani embarked on extensive travels to the renowned centers of Islamic learning. He journeyed to Bukhara and Samarkand, cities celebrated for their ancient universities and vibrant scholarly communities. These travels were transformative, exposing him to diverse schools of thought and fostering a critical approach to inherited knowledge. He engaged with leading scholars, debated complex theological issues, and broadened his intellectual horizons significantly. This period of intense study and intellectual exchange shaped his future reformist outlook. Upon his return to Kazan in the mid-19th century, Märcani was appointed as an imam. This position provided him with a direct view of the state of traditional Islamic education and the broader Muslim community. He observed a pervasive stagnation, characterized by rote learning and a rigid adherence to past interpretations. It was during this period that his reformist ideas began to crystallize, predating the formal naming of the Jadidism movement. Märcani passionately advocated for new teaching methodologies, emphasizing understanding over memorization. He also championed the inclusion of secular subjects, recognizing their importance for societal advancement. Crucially, he stressed the principle of ijtihad, or independent reasoning, encouraging scholars to engage directly with the Quran and Sunnah. This was a bold challenge to taqlid, the blind imitation of past authorities, which he believed stifled intellectual growth. His calls for reform were met with both fervent support and staunch opposition. Märcani's intellectual prowess was evident in his numerous scholarly works, particularly in theology and jurisprudence. He meticulously critiqued the prevailing scholasticism, kalam, arguing that it had become overly complex and detached from the practical realities of faith. He sought to simplify and purify Islamic thought. His theological approach emphasized a return to the foundational sources of Islam, the Quran and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. He believed that direct engagement with these texts was essential for a true understanding of faith. Märcani's writings encouraged a dynamic and rational interpretation of religious principles. In jurisprudence, he advocated for a more flexible and context-aware application of Islamic law. He argued against rigid adherence to single schools of thought, promoting a broader, more inclusive understanding of fiqh. His works challenged the intellectual inertia of his time, urging a renewed spirit of inquiry. Beyond theology, Märcani was a pioneering historian, particularly focused on the history of the Volga-Ural Tatars. His magnum opus, Mustafad al-Akhbar fi Awal Kazan wa Bulgar, Information on the History of Kazan and Bulgar, is a monumental work. This book meticulously chronicles the history of the region, drawing on a vast array of sources. He was among the first Tatar scholars to employ critical historical methodology, moving beyond mere compilation of legends. Märcani sought to verify facts, analyze sources, and present a coherent narrative of Tatar statehood and cultural development. His work provided a crucial foundation for future Tatar historical studies. This historical research was not merely academic. It served a vital purpose in fostering a sense of national identity and pride among the Tatars. By documenting their rich past, Märcani empowered his community with a deeper understanding of their heritage. He demonstrated that Tatar history was integral to the broader Islamic and Eurasian narrative. Märcani's commitment to reform extended directly into the realm of education. As an imam and a public figure, he actively worked to modernize the madrasa system. He introduced new subjects, including mathematics, geography, and Russian language, into the curriculum. This was a radical departure from the traditional, purely religious focus. He believed that a comprehensive education was essential for the progress of the Muslim community. Märcani also emphasized the importance of critical thinking and independent inquiry among students. His efforts aimed to produce not just religious scholars, but well-rounded individuals capable of navigating the modern world. His public service was extensive, often involving mediating disputes and advising the community on various matters. Märcani's influence was not confined to the intellectual elite. He was a respected figure among the common people. He tirelessly worked to uplift his community through education and moral guidance. Märcani's reformist ideas inevitably led to confrontations with conservative religious establishments. His critiques of taqlid and his advocacy for ijtihad were seen as radical and threatening by many traditionalists. He faced accusations of heresy and innovation, enduring significant opposition throughout his career. Despite these challenges, Märcani remained steadfast in his convictions, continuing to publish his works and advocate for his vision. His intellectual courage in the face of adversity solidified his position as a leading figure of reform. He paved the way for subsequent generations of Jadidists who would further advance his ideas. His legacy is multifaceted and enduring. For Tatar historians, he is the father of modern Tatar historiography. For Islamic scholars, he represents a powerful voice for intellectual renewal and a return to the sources. For educators, he is a model of pedagogical innovation and a champion of comprehensive learning. Şihabetdin Märcani was more than just a scholar. He was a visionary who profoundly shaped the intellectual landscape of the 19th century Muslim world, particularly among the Tatars. His unwavering commitment to knowledge, reform, and the preservation of cultural identity continues to inspire. He demonstrated that tradition and modernity are not mutually exclusive, but can be harmoniously integrated for progress. We invite all Tatar historians, Islamic scholars, history students, cultural researchers, and educators to delve deeper into the profound works of Şihabetdin Märcani. Explore his texts, analyze his arguments, and understand the enduring relevance of his reformist spirit. Share your insights and contribute to the ongoing discourse surrounding this remarkable figure. Let his legacy guide our pursuit of knowledge and our efforts to build a more enlightened future.